Mr. Carlos Slay to speak about young children and mental health.
Senator Dean, Representative Byrd, thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm here today, Senator and Representative, to speak about a little child named Zoe. This child was injured as a result of the neglect of the adults who were in charge with her care in the Nassau County school system. You may have read about Zoe and her situation in the local news, and I may have asked how this could happen. That's why it was brought to my attention. Last year, twice I spoke to the school board about the need for competitive bids for the provision of mental health services that are critical to the children enrolled in the ESE programs in our school. I requested that the school board attorney seek an attorney general opinion, and I'm here today to ask you, as my elected state legislators, to do the same. Here is the question. Does the legislative intent language of Florida Statute 287.001 condition or otherwise influence the subsections of the same statute, specifically Florida Statute 287.05, 3E5? Question. Let's be clear. Either the intent of the legislature should mean something as it's related to how public entities, such meaning on what happens in each subsection, stands alone and is forced and effect upon the law. Florida State Statute 287.001 says, I believe y'all can read that yourself without me going through it. I believe that when the Nassau County School Board eliminated the starting point behavioral health after 20 years of service and no real cause, and then awarded the contract to a startup mental health company with no prior experience, there was bound to be problems. The first change that the new mental health leaders made was to order that the ESE kids be bused to a central location that could consolidate the kids. The school district bought the wrong vans, which had to be sold, and here recently we learned about their terrible abuse that a young child named Zoe suffered while being bused. I believe that there is a connection, and that the school board, if they were unhappy with starting point, then they should have sought through a competitive bid process a new provider agency to help improve care for the most vulnerable among us. Instead, what happened was the school board decided to award a contract on a no bid basis to a friend who had a startup company with no prior experience and would have been even considered in any other county. What happened next was a parade of mistakes. That, in my view, resulted in circumstances that led to placing Zoe in harm's way. Could this have been avoided if there was a more experienced and qualified mental health provider and better decisions? Too many kids have been mistreated and harmed in our public schools. I would urge you to join me in asking that DCF order the Inspector General investigation into the circumstances surrounding what happened with Zoe. I would urge you to join me in asking our new state attorney, Melissa Nelson, to take a bold step and ask the grand jury to take a closer look at mistreatment of children in our schools. Just look at the data. Ask your staff to get the facts and learn the truth. Finally, I would urge you to ask the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and ask for another opinion on whether the legislative intent of Florida Statute 287.001 conditions or otherwise has any influence on the later subsections such as Florida Statute 287.057, 3E5. And finally, with 9 mental health companies in the area, it just seems like common sense that you would want competitive bid processes that impact care of the services to the children. And Senator Bean, Representative Byrd, I hope you will stand with me, with Zoe, and all the children for no child to be left behind. Thank you for allowing me to speak on this.
Thank you, Mr. Slay.